I feel blessed, that's evident. I'm the best I've ever been.
Okay.
So if they ask you how I feel,
What's up?
I'ma tell you I feel amazing. I feel blessed, that's evident. I'm the best I've ever been. So if they ask you how I feel, I'ma tell you I feel amazing. I feel blessed, that's evident. I'm the best I've ever been.
I am.
So if they ask you how I feel,
What's up?
I'ma tell you I feel amazing. I feel blessed, that's evident. I'm the best I've ever been.
That's right.
So if they ask you how I feel, I'ma tell you I feel amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing today? It is Wednesday, which means it is time for Burning Down the Gridiron. All right, we are less than 72 hours away from week one of the college football season. It's a hell of a slate this weekend. We're going to go through the slate. I got games for you that I'm going to go through. You're going to get my picks. We're going to do it differently this year than we did last year. Just to let you know, we're picking more than 6 games this time. We're picking 10 games. So the 10 games that you see that I picked to worthy of previewing, those are 10 games I'm picking. And I'm doing something different with the Van vote. You won't be voting for an extra game, but I'll show you all that. But we do have one more conference to preview. That would be the Southeastern Conference, a.k.a. the SEC. But before we get on all of that, I got to give you your news and notes from the college football round. So let's hit the 2-minute drill. All right, to begin our 2-minute drill, Stallion, quote, did not obtain signals through in-person scouting. We finally heard from Connor Stallion after all this time. The former Michigan football star Connor Stallion told NCAA investigators that he never participated in advanced in-person scouting and didn't purchase tickets from others to attend games of the Wolverines' future opponents to record their signals. Stallings made the claims in April during a video interview with the NCAA investigator, segments of which were included in the new documentary on Netflix, Sign Stiller, which was released on Tuesday. A lifelong Michigan fan and a retired captain in the United States Marine Corps, hired as an analyst in 2022, Stallion is alleged ringleader of a vast sign-stealing operation in which he's accused of sending people to scout the Wolverines' future opponents, including recording play signals from team sidelines. So we finally heard from the man that's been accused of this whole entire thing, and he says he denies it. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. Can we find some video? Can we find evidence that he did this? Because all this has been going on ever since this thing started. Michigan cheated. They all cheated. But we haven't seen any proof. We haven't seen no videos. We haven't seen anybody record them doing it. So what do we need to finally end this? What do we need to do to finally end this at NCAA? Because y'all will not let this go. Now, if you want to convict them, show the world the evidence that you have. And then y'all can start getting the backlash, because the more that y'all keep going, the more backlash coming y'all way, NCAA. And that's the way it is, because y'all keep trying to hammer down Michigan. You basically suspended Jim Harbaugh, who's now the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers, for 4 years. Like he's trying to come back in 4 years when he's coaching a NFL team, which he actually wants to do, and he wants to win a Lombardi trophy. Now you're doing this. You're coming after Sharon Moore now. What? Can we see the evidence, please? That's what I'm asking. Can we see the evidence so we can sit here and say, yeah, the NCAA, you need to go ahead and do what you got to do? Because taking y'all word for it doesn't have any meaning no more. It really doesn't. If I'm being complete, y'all word has no meaning whatsoever. So y'all need to put some proof to this, because this is ridiculous that this story is still going on. Like, can we move on and focus on football, please? Can we just focus on football? That's all we ask for. Let's focus on football. Michigan already won the national championship because y'all sorry asses didn't want to punish the man while he was there. Now that he's gone, now you want to take exponential action, which is stupid. Just let's move on, please. All right. That's all we ask. Let's move on. All right. Speaking of moving on, Deion Sanders, Colorado, again drawing strong betting interest. The betting interest on Deion Sanders, Colorado Buffaloes early last year was extraordinary, bookmakers say, and it seems to be happening again. College football kicks into high gear this week with a slate featuring openers between perennial powers such as Georgia and Clemson, Notre Dame-Texas A&M, LSU, USC. But to start the week, the game that has attached the most betting interest at DraftKings was North Dakota State and Colorado. The Buffaloes entered a second season on the Sanders. Are big long shots again, listed at 201 to win the national championship at ESPN Bet, but they remain popular with the betting public. MGM reported that entering the season, it would lose more money on Colorado winning the national championship than any other team except Ohio State. A $10,000 bet on the Buffaloes at 25-1 to win the Big 12 in their first year in the conference is among the noticeable early actions on Colorado at BetMGM. Still, bookers say the early betting on the Buffaloes this season will elevate isn't at the same level as last year. So despite what's been going on in Boulder, Colorado, people are taking interest when it comes to betting on Coach Prime's Buffaloes. Now, they do have a very, very interesting opener when we talk about North Dakota State. And this will give you a heads up that is part of our slate, our campus tour slate today. So when we get there, we're going to talk about Colorado and North Dakota State. All right, now, Georgia running back Robinson injured, no word on ETN. Now, what we have here is, as we have some technical difficulties here, so let me see if we can fix that real quick. Yep, we are having some technical difficulties here. So this is what we're going to do. I'm just going to read it to you. All right. There we go. I think we got it. There we go. Oklahoma's DeMarco Murray suspended 1 game over violations. Running backs coach of the Oklahoma Sooners, DeMarco Murray, who was the former running back for the Oklahoma Sooners, returned to his alma mater coach. He is suspended 1 game for violating recruiting policies. So, and then Brent Venable came out earlier today. Doesn't know when DeMarco Murray will serve his 1 game suspension, but it is 1 game suspension for recruiting violations. So DeMarco Murray suspended 1 game. How nice. Now we get to the Georgia news. Georgia running back Roderick Robinson injured. No word on Trevor Etienne. Georgia coach Kirby Smart isn't ready to say whether Florida transfer Travis Etienne will be available to play in the Saturday's opener against 14th ranked Clemson, but the number 1 Bulldogs know they probably won't have at least one of their top running backs. Smart confirmed Monday that tailback Roderick Robinson II recently underwent surgery to repair a toe injury. Rob Smart said Robinson will probably be week to week. He is expected to play against the Tigers on Saturday at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Robinson, a sophomore from San Diego, is the Bulldogs' top returning rusher with 196 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns in 2023. The Bulldogs lost their top two rushers from last season in Edwards and Milton. So, and yeah, Trevor Etienne, the former Florida Gator, now a Bulldog. See what you do. Let's see what you do, because you better be ready. You left and you went to Georgia. And then finally, here's a kicker right here. NCAA poses eliminating football spring transfer window. College football spring transfer period is officially in danger of being eliminated after the NCAA's FBS and FCS oversight committees recommended the sport move to a single all-season notification of transfer window. Under their proposal, the 30-day window in December would be the long opportunity for FBS and FCS players to enter their name into the transfer portal and seek a new school. For the past 2 years, the transfer portal has also opened a 15-day window in April. However, the Division I Council will meet in October to determine whether it will adopt the proposal, which reduces the total number of days when student athletes can transfer from 45 to 30. If approved, the change will take effect for the 2024-2025 school year. The December transfer window will open on the Monday after conference championship title games and extends from December 9th to January 7th. The NCAA cited a focus on promoting roster stability for student athletes and their programs in this release regarding the proposal. So we talking after conference championship week, all the way to January 7th. So we talking after the opening weekend of the thing, to right before you start getting to the good part of the postseason for the, actually I take that back. Now that we doing the 12-team playoff, 12-team playoff, we'll be getting somewhere in mid-December and it go all the way up to mid-January. So that's going to be interesting. Only 30 days from December to January is where you can put your name in the transfer portal if they approve for this in the next 2 months. Man, gotta love this. Gotta love it. The NCAA just keep on making moves. We'll see if this works, though. They trying something. I give them that. I definitely give them that. Now, normally I would take my first break here, but I'm not, because we got a lot to get into. So, our next order of business, we got to recap a couple of things from week 0. Let's go to the Gridiron Roundup. All right, for our Gridiron Roundup, we had 4 games in week 0. We only focused on 2 of them, and my buddy Cool McCain is in the building. What's up, Cool? How you doing, my brother? We had Florida State and Georgia Tech go at it, and LSU and Nevada go at it. And then let's kick it off with the upset of the day. The 10th-ranked Seminoles went to Ireland, Dublin, Ireland, and they took a last-second field goal L to the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. How in the world did this happen? Wow, the mighty Florida State Seminoles taking the L right out the gate. DJ Uganangale, 19 for 27, 193 yards. That man only threw 193 yards. Leading rusher for the Seminoles, Williams, 12 carries, 30 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, what? So we did all this talking. We did all this complaining. We did all this, and we lost all these players. We did everything. And to lose to the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets in a whole nother country. Normally, I would be happy. I'll be filled with joy because the Florida State Seminoles took an L. But see, I went to put my bias to the side. I was trying to find ways to pick Dabo Sweeney and the Clemson Tigers to win the ACC, but I'm like, Dabo has given me nothing to pick with. Give me nothing to hold my hat with so I can stay the true man that I am and hate Florida State. But now I say, nope, I got to do this the right way. And I picked Florida State to win the ACC. And you are already basically 0-2. It says 0-1, but you're basically 0-2 because you lost the first game of the season. And your first game of the season was a conference game. So you are already behind the 8 ball. And the rest of the conference ain't even played yet. Everybody in the, what we call it now, the All-Coast Conference, watched y'all lose to Georgia Tech. Everybody in the All-Coast Conference is now looking at each other like, oh, we have a chance. We have a chance now. Miami's licking their chops. Clemson is licking their chops. We'll see about North Carolina. We'll see what happens with Duke, with that new coaching stuff that they got. Georgia Tech. Don't forget about Georgia Tech because you got to go up to Blacksburg. Have fun with that trip because it's hard to win up there. Man, oh man, Georgia Tech. Cool gave me an interesting stat. Georgia Tech is 5-0 against ranked ACC teams under their current coach. He's doing something right. The last time they had a top 5 upset was to Florida State. And if I remember correctly, that was about 8 years ago in 2016. But I tell you, matter of fact, speaking of the ACC, because they weren't on the ACC team that played. Out in Nevada, SMU, who's a new member of the ACC, stole victory from the jaws of defeat from the Nevada Wolfpack. On a nice, I believe it was a nice 32-yard pass from Stone to Maryland. Nice 32-yard pass with like a minute, a little bit change left to take that victory. They are 1-0 on the season. Florida State is 0-1, but Florida State lost to an ACC team, which is a conference game. While LSU, who just came into the conference, they can start off 1-0. They get a jump start on Florida State. And they do play each other, by the way, which is going to be, if they still are somewhere around the same record, that's going to be a very interesting game in Doak. Is it in Doak Campbell? I believe it's in Doak Campbell Stadium. In Tallahassee, which is going to be interesting. So, hey, two ACC teams played. Three ACC teams played. 2 got a dub, 1 took an L. And the one that took an L was the one that wasn't supposed to take the L. Boy, I tell you, that's the way things got to go with this thing. Them darn Florida State Seminoles, boy. What can I tell you? Complain, only to start the new year with an L. Good gracious. All right. Take our first break here. Then when we come back, we got one more conference to preview, and it's the SEC.
Border to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific time zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text. Delete.
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels.
Get Mounts of Entertainment with Paramount Plus. Stream new movies such as Mean Girls, Transformers: Rise of the Beast, and Good Burger 2 with Paramount Plus. Stream live sports such as the UEFA Champions League, the NFL on CBS, the PGA Tour, and March Madness. Catch hit CBS shows such as Fire Country, Ghost, NCIS, and more. But also catch exclusive originals for Paramount Plus such as Special Ops Lioness, The Famous Stallones, and the hit series Halo. The new streaming home of Showtime. Watch Showtime original series and movies when you sign up with Paramount Plus with Showtime. Make it a fun, action-packed adventure for the whole family and create kid-friendly profiles for the little ones. So much to stream with Paramount Plus, with over 45,000 full episodes from BET, CBS, Comedy Central, MTV, Nickelodeon, and more. Paramount Plus plan starts at $5.99, but if you subscribe today, you'll get a free trial. Paramount Plus, Mounts of Entertainment.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Into the Net FC.
Kylian Mbappe just all of a sudden finally understood his role, and I think he finally understood that everything Kylian Mbappe has accomplished already, there is still a hell of a lot waiting for him in the future. Kylian Mbappe is only 24 years old. He has accomplished so much, and you know what? Kylian Mbappe has not even reached his prime. Finally seeing, the Marcus Rashford we have been hoping for such a long time, But, this game, after everything Manchester United has been, doing lately, this was actually the ultimate test, to see if Manchester United, honestly was all of a sudden for real.
I explain this. The United States, maybe they have to suffer this loss as a lesson to learn to prepare for the future. Because 4 years from now, the World Cup is in not one, not two, but 3 countries. The United States of America, Canada, and Mexico. Into the Net FC is available on all streaming platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and YouTube.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Bearing Down a Gridiron. Now we have one more conference to preview before we get to week 1, and that is the SEC, some known as the best conference in college football. The Big Ten might have some feelings about that one, especially not they have the reigning defending champions in that conference in the Michigan Wolverines. But nevertheless, the SEC is where it's at, Southeastern Conference. As we all know, as we've been going through these conference realignment, OU and Texas has officially joined. So now you can add Oklahoma Sooners and the Texas Longhorns into a conference that's already filled with the Alabamas, the Arkansas, the Auburn's, the Floridas, the Georgias, Kentucky's, the LSU's, and so on and so forth, okay? Now, Alabama, Crimson Tide, your 2023 reigning SEC champions. They knocked off the Georgia Bulldogs in the ATL at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, in which the Georgia Bulldogs didn't make the college football playoffs. And doing so, they lost to the Michigan Wolverines in the semifinals over in the Rose Bowl with a very highly contested game in overtime, by the way, overtime. Nick Saban retired. Former Washington head coach Caleb DeBoer has now filled in his shoes. We're going to see how he does, okay? Because that's some big shoes to fill. You were just at Washington. You were just part of a national championship contending team. Now you're going to Alabama. It's not easy to do. All right. The Georgia Bulldogs not only ranked number 1 in the AP polls, but they are the favorites to win the SEC, according to the SEC media poll. It's not surprising. OU and, as I said earlier, OU and Texas are part of it. Texas is picked second by the SEC media to win the SEC, and Oklahoma was picked 8th. The number one schedule in the land resides in the SEC, and it goes to none other than the Florida Gators. The number one toughest schedule in college football. Year 3 under Billy Napier. Is this a hot seat for old Billy Napier in year 3 down in Gainesville? Plus, they will pick 12th in the poll. Now, let's go to that. What is known as well, before we get there, let's go to the top 5. So your top 5 were Georgia, Texas, Alabama, Ole Miss, and LSU. No real surprises there because Georgia, obviously, self-explanatory. Texas, we'll see. Alabama is Alabama. Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin has a chance. And Brian Kelly and LSU always around. Georgia, though, they open up against Clemson in the ATL in Mercedes-Benz Stadium on Saturday. They head to Kentucky 2 weeks from there. They go to Tuscaloosa September 28th, literally a month from today. Georgia at Alabama. Circle that game on your calendar. Then the oldest rivalry in the South renews themselves the following week on October 5th. They go to Austin, Texas, October 19th. Circle that game on your calendar. All right, then once you hit the month of November, it's the annual Florida-Georgia game right here in Jacksonville, Florida. Then the week after the Florida-Georgia game, they go to Oxford, Mississippi to take on Lane Kiffin and the Ole Miss Rebels. And then a week after that, they host the Tennessee Volunteers. And, of course, you know, the other original games that they have. But the key games for the Bulldogs, that's a lot of key games there. Clemson, at Kentucky, at Alabama, at Texas, at Ole Miss. Woo! That's them road games is some road games there. Them road games is tough. We're gonna see how Kirby Smart does with this Bulldog team at Kentucky, at Alabama, at Texas, at Ole Miss. You don't even know what kind of Florida team you're gonna get in Jacksonville. Okay, Auburn's always a big. They call it the oldest rivalry in the South, so that's a rivalry game by itself. The way Georgia Tech looked at the end of the year, what they did to reach 0 to Florida State, how they look. If they keep going like this, that game against Georgia Tech gonna be interesting at the end of the year. It's a lot going on. But that's Georgia. That's the number 1 team in the land. Let's go to the number 4 team in the land. And the second team in the pick of the SEC media, the Texas Longhorns, the newcomers. All right. Week 2, they head into the big house to take on the Michigan Wolverines. I can go ahead and tell you right now, that's the game of the week for week 2. So when Sunday gets here and you see what we did, you'll know that game is the game of the week. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Their first SEC game is September 28th, a month from today, and is at home against Mississippi State. Okay. Even though there are no divisions in the SEC anymore, the Red River rivalry will not go away. It is part of the ACC now, and the Red River rivalry will take place on October 12th down in Dallas, Texas, at the Cotton Bowl. And obviously, October 19th is the game where they host Georgia. November 9th, they host the Florida Gators. They got key games at home. Key games at home. It's pretty much what is going on for Texas right now. They go to Arkansas at November 16th, and they go to Texas A&M at Thanksgiving weekend. The old rivalry renews between the Longhorns and the Aggies. That should be a fun one to watch, but they go to Dallas with OU. They're hosting their first ever SEC game with Mississippi State. They host Georgia and they host Florida. So the world might be a little more easier for Texas than Georgia. Maybe. We're not sure yet, but maybe. Just on paper. So that's good. Let's head to Alabama, though. The reigning defending SEC champions. September 14th, they take the trip up north to Wisconsin. That's going to be interesting. A trip to Wisconsin. I have never seen, I don't remember the last time I can see Alabama on the road up north. So I'm looking forward to that one. They should beat Wisconsin, but it's going to be interesting to watch an Alabama team playing in Wisconsin. This is going to be interesting. It is going to be interesting to see. All right. Of course, we talked about it when we talked about the Bulldogs. A month from now, Alabama's hosting Georgia. October 19th, they go to Tennessee. I'm looking forward to that. They host Missouri October 26th. And let's not sleep on Missouri. Missouri got a team. Missouri played some good football last year. I'm looking forward to doing it again. They bringing their quarterback, they running back, and their wide receiver back. So they should be ready to go. The annual LSU game, that game will be in Death Valley, November 9th. In Death Valley, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. They go to Norman, Oklahoma, November 23rd. And then they host the Iron Bowl against the Auburn Tigers Thanksgiving weekend. As you can see, I just went through 3 teams. And all the key games don't even look like locks. None of them look like a lock. Except for maybe Wisconsin when it comes to Alabama. But good gracious, this is why the SEC. That's why people love the SEC. There's no cakewalk games in this conference. Let's go to Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin. People are looking at Lane Kiffin and say, Lane Kiffin, this might be your year, sir. You don't have to deal with Nick Saban no more. Texas and Oklahoma are new. Only team you probably can deal with is Georgia, and you face Georgia. But before we get there, let's begin at the beginning. September 14th, they go to Wake Forest. Okay. Depending on how Wake Forest looks, that could be a nice, comfortable win for Ole Miss. A month from now, September 28th, they host Kentucky. They go to South Carolina in October 5th. They go to LSU on the 12th of October. Ugh. At least they hosting Oklahoma on the 26th of October. So they, instead of them going to Norman got to come. The Sooners got to come to them to Oxford. That's a good one. They host Georgia, November 9th. They come to Florida. They go to Gainesville, November 23rd. And on a short week, by the way. That's a short week because 6 days later, it's the Egg Bowl against Mississippi State in Oxford. That is a short week. Hold on. They playing Florida if they playing Florida on a Saturday, they playing the Egg Bowl on a Friday. Yep, that's a short week. Short week. See how that works out. And then we go to LSU. They opening up Sunday. They don't open up Saturday. They open up Sunday in Vegas against the USC Trojans. On the 14th of September, they go to South Carolina. The week after that, they host UCLA. That is crazy. LSU is playing both LA schools in a 3-week span. They got USC on the 1st. They got UCLA on the 21st. 20 days apart. 3-week span. Good gracious. They host Ole Miss on October 12th. They go to Arkansas October 19th. They go to Texas A&M October 26th. Obviously, they host Alabama on November 9th. They come to Gainesville November 16th. And they host Oklahoma November 30th. So Oklahoma has to go to Oxford in October. They got to go to Death Valley in November. That's crazy. So we're getting LSU and Oklahoma Thanksgiving weekend. I'm trying to watch that game. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm trying to watch that game. That should be a fun one. OU and LSU and Death Valley Thanksgiving weekend. That better be a primetime game. Because what game gonna rival that? Well, depending on how everything else plays out, Michigan, Ohio State probably. No, that's always at 12 though. Yeah, that's always at 12. So here we go. Now let's get to my Gators. What is deemed as the schedule of death, the number 1 ranked schedule in all of college football. We open up at home this Saturday against the Miami Hurricanes. Okay. Then we host Sanford. All right, should be a dub right there. Then we host Texas A&M. We don't even know what Texas A&M gonna look like. Yeah, we go to Starksville, Mississippi. We take on the Mississippi State Bulldogs. We host the USC Knights. I don't know how I feel about that game because I went to UCF and I've always been a Gator fan. I'm gonna be torn on that one. I'm gonna be completely honest, and that's in October. So I got a good month and some change to prepare for that. Then after we host the USC Knights, got to go to Rocky Top to take on the Tennessee Volunteers in Tennessee, which has not been good to us. Going to Tennessee has not been good to us lately. Then we come home to host the Kentucky Wildcats. Then after a bye week, then the annual Florida and Georgia game right here in Jacksonville, Florida, where I reside at. Then after that, November 9th, we're going to Austin, Texas to take on the Texas Longhorns. Before we come home and we host LSU, host Ole Miss, and then finish it off in Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee. Oh my gosh. This is why it's called the schedule of death. Because once you get past Sanford, it's home to Texas A&M, at Mississippi State, home to UCF, at Tennessee, home to Kentucky, home in Jacksonville against Georgia, at Texas, home to LSU, home to Ole Miss, at Florida State. That's a 10-game death row right there. This is why we have to schedule a death. Now, if you want to sit here and say, well, we don't know nothing about Ole Miss, we don't know nothing about UCL, well, UCL would the Florida Gators ass in the bowl game last year. So, I mean, that's a rivalry building right there. And not only with the Gators, they trying to build rivalries with Florida State and Miami too, why they at it. Going to Tennessee, Gator fans know we don't do well in Tennessee. Kentucky has started to beat up on us now, so we get them at home. Florida and Georgia, there's nothing else to say to it. Oh, Lord have mercy. And this is Billy Napier's third year, and he might be on the hot seat this year with this type of schedule. This is the wrong time to be on the hot seat with this type of schedule. But the pressure is on Billy Napier. There's a lot of people who want to see Billy Napier do something. But man, the only sure game is September 7th. We'll be host Sanford. Miami, you don't know. And Miami's ranked 19th in the country. Texas A&M is ranked. Tennessee is ranked. Georgia is ranked number 1. Texas is ranked number 4. LSU is ranked 13. Ole Miss is ranked. And even though Florida State lost to Georgia Tech, they'll still be ranked somehow, some way. Whew, Lord have mercy. Yeah, that's the SEC for you. And that's the schedule for the Florida Gators. That's the schedule of death. All right. Now, I know y'all want to know who I'm picking. I'm picking the Georgia Bulldogs. Like Coach Saban said on College Game Day last week, until somebody can show me that they can beat Georgia outside of Alabama, and Alabama don't have Nick Saban no more, so I don't know what Kellen DeBoer is going to look like. I got to roll with the Bulldogs, unfortunately. So I got to roll with the Bulldogs. So that will complete my conference picks. You know, yes, I picked Florida State. Yes, I picked Georgia Bulldogs. I'm going with the Oregon Ducks in the Big Ten, and I'm going with the Utah Utes in the Big 12. Dang, I picked 2 former Pac-12 teams to win their new conference. That's very disrespectful on my part. That's really very disrespectful on my part. Now that I think about it, I'm sitting here looking at it. Dang, I really picked 2 former Pac-12 teams to go in their new conferences and win it. Damn. Hey, I could be wrong. I could be right. Hey, I'm already on 1 star with Florida State. I'm trying to be unbiased. And then we need a group of 5 pick, right? Give me the Liberty frame to do it again. Give me the Liberty frame to do it again. And some of y'all saying, why are you picking a group of 5? Because we have a 12-team playoff now, which means the top group of 5 team gets into the playoffs now. They are allowing a group of 5 team to make the playoffs. So I had to pick a group of 5 team. And speaking of which, those of you who've been wanting to know, yes, I have created my own 12-team playoffs. Here you go. I got Georgia number 1, Oregon number 2, Utah number 3, and Florida State number 4 because they lost to Georgia Tech. All right. Number 5 is Ohio State. 6 is Notre Dame. 7 is Texas. 8 is Alabama. 9 is, Penn State. 10, Oklahoma State. 11, LSU. And 12 is the Liberty Flame. So those are my 12 teams right here. The buys coming from the conference champions of the Power 4. Okay. That 5th conference champion is going to be whatever group of 5 is higher. That would be the 5th group of 5 champion. And most likely, they probably be the 12th seed automatically. So then you see the first round here. They are played at whoever's the higher seed stadium. So it would be Ohio State hosting Liberty Flames in my playoffs. You will have Texas hosting Oklahoma State in an interesting form of Big 12 matchup. Notre Dame will be hosting LSU, and then Alabama will be hosting Penn State. So that is my 12-team playoffs. Let's see how good I am at this. It's the first year of it, so I want to see if I hit on some spots this year. All right. Now we're gonna take our second commercial break, and then when we come back, we're going on the campus tour, our first campus tour of the year.
World where chronicles of the past are brought to the streams. Whether the content is relatable or completely beyond your realm of life, there is no shadow of a doubt that this show is absolutely full of shenanigans. Get ready for
D. Willie in the evening.
This Sunday at 10:05 p.m. Eastern.
Exclusively on Sertoba Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome. Cool McCain.
You thought you wanted Gunther against Chad Gable, but you didn't. And I'm going to tell you why. Chad Gable would take everything that Gunther's done and bury it.
The Playmaker.
It was on site. AJ Styles walked out there seeing LA Knight. Oh, okay. Then LA Knight hopped out the car. Let's go.
Break down everything in TNA, AEW, and all of the WWE programming. Join these two kings, monarchs of wrestling, live every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central on the Play Caller Sports Talk YouTube channel.
Sports fans are gearing up, whether it be for the madness of March, whether it be for the Super Bowl, or even a little thing called WrestleMania. You can get all that at Fanatics, where they have a wide selection of gear from every league, including the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, the NHL, the NCAA, and the WWE. So go on and show that pride, that passion, that dedication fan that you are by repping your team, your league, or your favorite player. Fanatics, official license, everything.
Whether it's the men's college game,
The way that this season has been going, anything is possible.
the women's college game,
And how passionate Angel Reese was at that press conference, they got their mojo now.
the WNBA,
AJ Williams on Twitter 1 and 2, followed by Brittany Griner, Aaliyah Boston, Jackie Young.
or the NBA.
The Lakers had a 0.8 chance of winning. And then what happened in the fourth quarter? LeBron James by himself outdid the Clippers.
You will get any and all of the information right at your fingertips or your earlobes. Join the Playmaker as he breaks down all things basketball in Shooting Lights Out on the Playmakers blog, network, YouTube channel, and where you can find podcasts. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying. But this is also an option.
Wise El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Bobby J and Wise El Jefe, Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
All right, we are on the campus tour. Let's hit it. All right, Thursday, tomorrow, 8 p.m. on Fox. North Carolina is traveling to Minnesota to go against Royal Boat, the Minnesotan Golden Gophers, in an ACC Big Ten matchup tomorrow night. That should be a game to watch. I want to see what Matt Brown new look North Carolina team look like without Drake May and a close PJ Fleck and Royal Boat. They always have a good start, and then towards the middle they fall off, and then you don't hear nothing from them at the end of the year. So it's going to be seeing which coach can get off to that hot start, off on a 1-0 start, especially now that we have a lot more inter-conference games between the Power Four. So I'm looking forward to that. Number 2 on the docket for our campus tour. Let's go to Boulder, Colorado, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. ESPN. The North Dakota State Bisons taking on the Colorado Buffaloes. Man. This is some guts by Colorado. Okay. Because anybody that's been a fan of college football for years, decades, they already know. Any type of Dakota on your schedule is a possible upset. If I remember correctly, I think Oklahoma State and Mike Gundy, they opened their season up against South Dakota. I'm like, y'all got some guts, man. Yeah, they challenging themselves though, because man, I don't know if I'll be doing it. Yes, the South Dakota State we be going to Stillwater take on Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's on a 9.5 point favorite, by the way. But we talking North Dakota State and Colorado. Tomorrow night, Colorado's a 10-point favorite right now as we speak on ESPN. The money line has the Bisons at plus 290. Coach Prime, this is not going to be an easy game for your boys. I hope you know that. Hope you know. You're not just going to walk in there and run over these boys. These boys from North Dakota, they can play some football, all right? They can definitely play some football. Then we hit to Friday night, 10:30 p.m. on ESPN out in California, where the Stanford Cardinals will play their first game as a ACC member against the Big 12's TCU Horned Frogs. So we have Horned Frogs and we have Cardinals going at it on Friday night. Let's head to the big day, Saturday. After college game day, head over to ABC because inside the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, the 14th ranked ACC member, the Clemson Tigers, led by Dabo Swinney, taking on the number 1 team in the land, the number 1 team to make the playoffs, the number 1 team to win it all by most people in the SEC, the Georgia Bulldogs. And like Nick Saban said last week, I'm gonna say it again: until somebody can beat Georgia, we need to see it. All right, let's go for another ACC-SEC matchup, this time from the ATL to Nashville, Tennessee, that is, where the Vanderbilt Commodores host the Virginia Tech Hokies. And this will be a good start for Virginia Tech to get off to a good start and get one of the basement teams in the SEC. Georgia Tech, you see they can handle business. That's at 12 p.m. on ESPN. 12 p.m. on Fox. Big 10, Big 12 action. Morgantown, West Virginia, where the Mountaineers host the Penn State Liberty Lions. James Franklin, a lot of us are looking at you. Of course, all the eyeballs are on Ohio State and Michigan, and now the new look Oregon does. But Penn State, you ranked 8th in the country. James Franklin, we're looking at you. When you gonna have that season where we looked at you and we like, he's finally arrived? You have won 10 games. See, you don't have so many 10-win seasons, but you have done nothing with them because you're always losing to Michigan and Ohio State somehow, some way. Can you go to Morgantown, West Virginia, James Franklin? Can you go in there and can you beat West Virginia? Can you get your football team out to a hot start, James Franklin? Because we are looking at you when it comes to the Big Ten as well. We're just not looking at Michigan, Ohio State, but they the names that's going to jump out there, and now Oregon. But don't think we sleeping on you, James Burke. We're not. We waiting for you, sir. Let's see, can you do something this Saturday, 12 p.m. on Fox, and then our 3:30 slate begins in Gainesville, Florida, the Swamp, where the Florida Gators host 19th ranked the Miami Hurricanes. These two teams play every 4 years. The last time these two teams met was in 2020, and the Florida Gators came out on top. That game was down in Orlando, Florida. The Florida Gators came out on top. Can they defend home turf in a year that is the schedule of depth that I just went over? Can the Gators defend home turf against the Hurricanes? Get themselves off to a hard start. And can Miami make the AP people happy with the 19th ranking because they went down to Gainesville and they beat the Gators? The post-Harbaugh era begins Saturday night prime time, 7:30 p.m. on NBC, where the 9th-ranked Michigan Wolverines begin their title defense against Fresno State Bulldogs. Now, I'm talking Mountain West and Big Ten. Usually, you'll look at that team from the Mountain West like y'all have no business on the same field, but it is Fresno State we're talking about here. So we gonna put some respect on them, all right? I'm gonna look at these odds for this game because this is an interesting one here. And I'm seeing 20.5 for Michigan. There's a possibility that Fresno State can cover that. We're talking almost 3 touchdowns. There's a possibility they could cover that, if I'm being completely honest. All right. But that's the Saturday slate. We're not done because we have a Sunday slate. September 1st, Sunday, 7:30 p.m. ABC. We'll be taking you to Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada, in a Big Ten SEC showdown as the USC Trojans coming in ranked 23. Taking on 13th ranked the Tigers of LSU. Man, that's going to be a game right there. Ooh, that's going to be a game. But we do have a game of the week, don't we? And for week 1, the spotlight game of the week takes us to College Station, the site of College Game Day this weekend, where it will be the 7th-ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish taking on 20th ranked Aggies of Texas A&M. It's going to be a jam-packed place at Kyle Field in College Station. A big win by Texas A&M, and they can be off to the races under the new coach. Notre Dame, a win here, and you can probably slot them into the college football playoffs. All right? Right now, A&M is a 3-point favorite to defend home turf. Notre Dame is plus 130 to win this game on the money line. It's going to be an interesting one to see how this game goes, all right? Very, very interesting to see how this one goes. And now that we went through our campus tour, we're just going to close it out here. And we're going to go to our new pick segment. It is the Bear Down Play 10 here. And we're going to pick these games here. And we're going to start off in the same order that we did on our campus tour. Give me the Tar Heels of North Carolina to get the dub in Minnesota. All right, I'm picking North Carolina. I am picking the I'm picking Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes to squeak. And I do mean squeak by the North Dakota Bisons. Coach Prime would get off to a 1-0 start like he did last year. I'm taking TCU over Stanford. I know TCU had a down year last year, but it is Stanford we're talking about here. Has Stanford done anything to make me think about them? Nah. Give me TCU. Give me the Horned Frogs, all right? Until somebody can show me they can beat Georgia outside of Alabama, I'm picking Georgia. That is all there's to it. Yeah, I'm gonna take Virginia Tech, even though Vanderbilt is at home. I'm taking Virginia Tech. I don't trust Vanderbilt to save anything. Pat McAfee, I love you. I know you got West Virginia winning the Big 12, which is crazy to think about. And with the winning the Big 12, they'll be in the college football playoffs as a top 3, as a top 4 seed, which is also ridiculous to think about. I love you, Pat. I love you. You repping your school. I love you. Give me James Franklin and the Plain State Lathan Lions to go in there to win. I know it's called the schedule enough. And I know Miami is ranked 19th, but I've been hearing some good things coming out of Kimball, Florida. Graham is looking good. The offense looks good. The defense looks poised. Give me the Gators to defend home turf and take down 19th ranked Miami. Sorry, but can't say sorry, cool, because cool already know I'm gonna pick Florida anyway. So, and he don't even have faith in his own king. So that's that. Of course, I'm picking Michigan. Fresno State might cover, but I'm picking Michigan to win comfortably. Give me the LSU Tigers. Now, Brian Kelly, you can make up for what happened last year when you lost to Florida State in the opening when you should have won the game. If you lose to Lincoln Riley and the USC Trojans, there's going to be some serious problems down in Baton Rouge, sir. And I'm pretty sure you don't want no problems down in Baton Rouge right about now, all right? So you need to go in the Allegiant Stadium, and you need to beat up on the USC Trojans, okay? They don't know what the defense is for some. Lincoln Riley don't know what the defense is. So take advantage of that, please, Brian Kelly. Thank you. And then for our spotlight game of the week, which is Texas A&M hosting Notre Dame. This is where our fan vote comes in. So instead of doing a fan vote like we did last year when you get to pick the extra game, whatever the game of the week is, you get to vote in to see who wins this game. So the people have voted, and this is what the vote went to. 69.8% went to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. 30.2% of the votes went to Texas A&M to defend home turf. Where do I fall in this bracket here? Give me the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. They go to college, go to Kyle Field, and come out victorious by a field goal. I'm taking them by a field goal, okay? Remember, I'm taking them by a field goal. And, all right, just to recap real quick, just so everybody's on board, I got North Carolina winning. Okay, I have Colorado winning. I have TCU winning. I have Georgia winning. I have Virginia Tech winning. I have Penn State winning. Florida, Michigan, LSU, and Notre Dame all winning week 1 this weekend. All right, that would do it for our Bear Down Play 10. And that will do it for today's show, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're getting ready. Those of you who want to catch this on the Real Rise Radio, you can catch it Saturday, 11 a.m., leading you up to kickoff to the Clemson-Georgia game or the Michigan-Fresno State game or the Vanderbilt-Virginia Tech game. Whatever game you want to watch at 12, we're going to lead you up to that with this episode right here on the Real Rise Radio. Also, you can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and whatever else you listen to podcasts at. And then also follow us on the YouTube channel, the Playmakers Blog YouTube channel, and give us your picks for week 1. We'll love to hear them. We'll love to discuss it. I will see you next week to recap week 1 and dive into week 2 for the Playmaker. I'm out. Deuces.